Tuesday night, everybody. Welcome to Tennessee Prime, coming to you live from Gus's World Famous Fried Chicken. I'm Brent Hubbs, along with Jason Swain. Down to the far right, we've got Cade Mays. Tyler Barron is in the building as well. Glad to have you along with us on this Tuesday edition of the program. And Jason, always good to be back. Always good to be at one of my favorite places, Gus's World Famous Fried Chicken. Always good to have Cade Mays here. Hopefully he's going to leave a little chicken for some of us to eat tonight as well, because he's had a pretty busy day on campus. You know what I mean?
Heck yeah. He certainly deserves to have all the chicken. He's done a great job in his first game, but he certainly deserves to have all the chicken in the world if he wants it.
Okay, to talk a little bit, and Tyler joins us here. I want to talk to both of you guys. Hope you're doing well. Just what was Thursday night like? I mean, Kate, you've known about the Vol Walk. You've seen it. You were a part of a recruit, your dad, and everything else. But what was it like for you to experience that as a player for the first time? Because you guys didn't get that a year ago. So what was that moment like, just the Vol Walk, running through the tee, the whole Tennessee experience, if you will?
Yeah, definitely. It was awesome just being able to take it in, with my teammates, my brother, seeing a lot of faces I knew in the Vol Walk, and then just being able to run through the tee. There's so many people that have done that before me, and just playing last year and not being able to do it, it was something I've always kind of wanted to do. So being able to do it this week was really cool.
Did it feel like what you thought it would feel like, Tyler?
To be honest with you, it exceeded all expectations. Just growing up in Middle Tennessee, you always see the Vols running through the tee. You always see the Vol Walk. So last year I was kind of bummed, but being able to do it this year, it definitely surpassed all my expectations.
All right, so I'm gonna put you on the spot, both of you. What's the cooler thing, the walk or the tee?
I would say the tee, just because it's right there before game time. I actually didn't even get to run through the tee because I was actually a captain for the game, so I still haven't even had my.
So you haven't done it. You
first
can't even
experience.
answer the question.
No,
man.
I can't. But just the pregame.
He's making stuff
I'll pick up the
over
slack. Running through the tee was definitely a more exciting experience for me. Just being ready, fired up for game time, seeing 102, 455. It's crazy, to be honest.
So what you
Nothing
thought?
like it.
I say the tee's the more exciting of the two.
What about for you, Jason, when you played?
Well, my last year, I was a captain, and
So
so,
you
I'm right there with you, Kate. Having to kind of go out there and do the coin toss and not have the time to go back and run through the tee. We did like alternating captains, so there were some games where I was able to run through the tee, some games I wasn't.
Right.
And as much as I wanted to be a captain, my freshman year, sophomore year, junior year, that was kind of a dream to be a captain at Tennessee. When I finally became one, I missed run through the tee.
Yeah,
So I wanted to run through the tee. So, it's a double-edged sword, but there's nothing like running through the tee. I'm just glad that you guys are able to do that now. Okay, you might have to wait a little bit.
Yeah, definitely.
Maybe you can swap it out with one of the other guys.
Maybe this week. I think we're rotating captains, so this week I'll get to run through it.
All right, let's get past the pregame and let's talk about the game itself. And Tyler, I'll start with you. Defensively, as fans, we didn't know really what to expect out of this defense. We didn't know what you guys were supposed to be.
Right.
Offensively, we got a pretty good idea what Coach Heupel wants to do and the identity. Defensively, we didn't. What do you think you guys showed the fans the identity of this defense is?
We're just starting up front. I think you saw a lot of D linemen getting vertical, resetting line of scrimmage, playing in their backfield. I think that's Coach Banks' philosophy. He builds the whole defensive scheme basically off that, to be honest with you.
So how do you do that? What's the key to playing vertically and playing that way? Because, most people, the casual fan, would go, of course you play in the backfield. That's what you're supposed to do. What's the key to doing that, and is that different than other defensive philosophies?
Yeah, it's much different than a lot of different people in the country. But, we're playing through gaps more so than just mirror stepping a man. So we're just trying to shoot through my responsibility playing the C gap. I take care of everything there and just play in the backfield.
How do you think you played?
I'm kind of critical. Definitely wasn't one of my best games at all, but I'm definitely going to try to improve on that this week at Pitt.
What did you learn about yourself in this defense in week one that you're taking to the practice field this week? What did you say, man, I need to be better at this, or these guys are doing this to me? What did you learn watching the tape in week one? You say, okay, I got to be better at this specific area.
Just fine-tuning the details, keeping the edge better, getting more vertical through my movements, taking better steps upfield. Just a lot of the fine details is what I think I need to correct a lot more so than big things.
All right, Kate, you guys ran for a bunch of yards.
That's right, Kate.
You knew it was going to happen, right? You felt
we
pretty
did.
good?
We did. We had a good game plan going into it.
What do you like about this run game? as an offensive lineman? What do you like about, without getting too detailed about the schematics, what do you like about this run system and how it can be productive?
Yeah, just the tempo, the defense not being able to line up, got a lot of motions going on, got a lot of runs that look the same at the beginning of a play, but it turns out to be something completely different. So, it's just very versatile, and, it's straight up and down the field. We're not running sideways or running right at you, so I like that.
Could you tell that the tempo, you continuing to lean on guys, attacking guys, could you tell Thursday that it was starting to affect Bowling Green and the defensive line was, it was huffing and puffing a little bit?
Definitely. The first drive, I think it was like between 12 and 15 plays that their D-line was actually like the referees were stopping the game to let them bring a whole new D-line on. We were just sitting there like, what?
Yeah.
Like, this is the point of this tempo offense. So, but they were helping them out. I mean, D-line, they were dying out there. But we ran right up to like 90 plays in the whole game. So, I mean, that was definitely the most plays I've ever ran. And just with the tempo, it's so fast. You turn around and the game's over, and you're like, what?
Go ahead.
What are you thinking after the first two drives? I mean, that was like –
Breathe.
I mean, wait. All right, the breathing's a must, obviously, but I mean that was the perfect script to start, even for the defense as well. I mean, you couldn't have scripted out the start of the game any better. For both of you, how big was it to start that way to get a confidence going?
Definitely, it's huge to come out and start fast and get up a couple points and make the most of your possessions, because you don't get that many in a game. And we prepped all week for what they might do and different defenses they might run, but that was the one they ran. We didn't prep for. We had some looks into it and stuff, but like they came out and did a whole different game plan than we thought that we were going to see. So just coming over to the sideline, talking to coach, playing on the run. So,
well, let me ask you this, Cade. Your job, obviously, in the running game is to block the people in front of you, and you want to get to the second level and get to the linebackers, but there's only so many people that you can block, and there's always going to be an unblocked defender, maybe an alley runner or safety, something like that.
For sure.
So how big is it for you as offensive lineman, knowing that you got a couple running backs that can make guys miss? Because one thing that's really frustrating when you see a running back hit the hole, there's one guy, the hole's perfect,
Shoestring tackle.
and then it means it's like a lasso, two arms around two legs, and it's like, man, the O-line did their job, but the running back got to make somebody miss and go take it to the house. How big is it for you in the offensive line, knowing that you guys got a couple running backs that can make guys miss in the hole and take it the distance?
For sure, it's huge because, like you said, we can only block so many people, and our job is to get that running back one-on-one with that alley player, that safety that's coming down the fit. If your holes are big enough, that's a lot of room to have to tackle somebody. So, our running backs definitely did a good job of breaking that tackle, getting to the next level and, breaking some big runs.
What about for you defensively, the fast start? I mean, they didn't do anything early. Obviously, they had the second quarter. We'll get to that in a minute. But for you guys, how important was that from a confidence standpoint? 3 and out. Hey, let's go to the sidelines. We'll give it back to the speed guys over here and let them go to work.
I think it was great for our confidence, just as a defensive line, especially just being able to just be disruptive, to be honest, and being able to get the offense back the ball and seeing them go score. I think it was great for our confidence, just knowing that they got our back.
How tired were you at the end of the first quarter? Because I know you were tired because you're playing fast. You guys played a couple of series, but there's so much emotion in a first game. There's so much emotion in sitting around all day waiting to play, and we talk about the walk and we talk about the tee and everything. Was there a point in time where you could go, okay, let's it's just football. We're settling in and playing. We got all the hype out of the way. We're just playing football. Did you have a moment like that, either one of you?
I think for us, especially on the defense, I think after we got that first 3 and out, we all just got to settle in and just like, all right, we're here to stay. Like, we're here to play good ball, and that's going to go 60 minutes. I think that was for us.
Yeah, I did. After the first 2 drives, you're playing on adrenaline and stuff, first game, night game, hyped up out there, and then you come to the sideline. And it was probably the 3rd drive after we got stopped right there. It was like, okay, we gotta figure out what they're doing, what we got to do, beat that, and then, get it. You hit your second wind after those first couple drives, and then, you're coasting. So.
Have any one of you guys met personally Stir the Pearl?
Oh, yes.
So y'all met Stir the Pearl. Y'all know how hype he is, how much energy he has. I want to know, how was it pregame warm-up, game atmosphere when he's over there, the 1 and 2s, and he's playing,
right.
Some of the most recent music getting you going. How is it to having that music in the stadium? Because I didn't have that. We didn't have that music. We just had, the band. But just tell us a little bit, how is it having Sterl there and providing that energy for the crowd?
Yeah, it was turn for sure. Everybody was hyped up, ready to play. You know, I personally, like, I was just ready to go play. I don't really remember that much from pregame. I was just, locked in, all ready to go play. But yeah, definitely remember just everybody was being just, it was juiced up. Everybody was ready to go.
Yeah, same for me. All the big guys would go out there and warm up together, but to be honest, I was pretty locked in. Definitely seeing all the crowd feed off of Sterl, it gets you gassed up and gets you ready to go. But
Good.
So let's talk about the second quarter. Okay, Blitzkrieg in the first quarter. I mean, we're rolling. You guys get stopped on offense. They get a couple of drives. Let's start defensively. What did they do in the second quarter to give you guys a little bit of a problem? Obviously, you didn't give up a touchdown. You got the stop. But they drove the ball a little bit, which people are going to do. What did they do, and what was your adjustment out of that?
So really what they gave us a little trouble with was they were neutralizing our pass rush and stuff like that, a lot of sprint out, a lot of misdirection. So we really had to just play our keys and just keep our eyes correct. But once we adjusted that, I feel like we got back on track.
And what about you guys offensively? Was it yourself?
Yeah, just stopping ourselves. One guy here, one guy here. It takes all 11 to go make those big plays. And one guy would miss a block here. Somebody running back might have missed a hole. I don't remember. But once we just settled down, locked in, went in halftime, made some adjustments and stuff. We came out and we were just splitting them, just leaning on them, ran the ball really good, and finished.
Did they change anything? Did defensively? Did they do anything really different in the second quarter?
Not really. They had this one little blitz package where they walked the mic up, they mugged him over the center, and they were bringing like a twist and then a boundary. Like a boundary safety off the edge, and they were running that twist, boundary safety with the mic mugged up, and so it was a weird look that we hadn't seen on film and stuff, and so we just had to get to the sideline, figure out how to stop it, and then once we figured out how to stop it, it was pretty easy.
That's the thing that people don't realize is, you can prepare for a team all week long based on what you've seen on film. In this case, you're watching film from like last year,
Sure.
right?
And so they only played 4 games.
Yeah, so they played 4 games and stunk in those 4, but I had those a little shade at Bowling Green. But, they were not that good last year, and so you had a limited amount of film, and it's the first game. So now the adjustments in game is just that much more important. So that was a good note that you were able to share.
For both of you, was it good to have that? Was it good to have a lull or have a quarter where, as opposed to coming out and, hey, it's 63-0 and, everything goes perfect like it did in the first quarter? But for team development, the development of your unit, your side of the ball, your side of the ball, was it good to have a bit of a lull where you had, all right, let's get the adjustments, let's get here and let's figure out what we've got going on? How important was that for development moving forward?
I would have loved to go out there and win 63-70 to nothing. You know what I'm saying?
Everybody
but
would.
Yeah.
I think it helped our offensive line. We stayed out there 90 plays, like I said. I mean, that's the most play. I played a lot of football, and that was the most plays I've ever played by far. And, just being out there, having to push through when you're tired, 90 plays to the fourth quarter, you know what I mean? So, I think it was good for everybody getting out there and just being able to play. It's different than practice. You play 90 plays in the game. The different looks, blocking people, you know what I'm saying? You get tired, and I think it just helped everybody progress.
But for you guys, was it good defensively to have that?
I think it was perfect for us, honestly. Going through camp and stuff, adversity strikes, so it was good for us in the second quarter to have a little bit of a different look and for them to actually get a few first downs. Because I feel like we just we took a step back, honestly, and then just put our saddles on. We just rode and we fixed it.
Yeah, obviously in the second half you were dominant. I think 66 yards is what you gave up in the second half as a unit. Pretty good.
Let me break up the football talk a little bit. Put both of you guys on the spot. So both of y'all are from Catholic high school, representing, right?
Yep.
Yes,
Right. And which one of you guys gets the statue first? Is it going to be Tyler? Or is it going to be Kay? Who gets the statue first? Who reps Catholic the hardest? It's just pretty cool to see both of you guys at Tennessee from local Catholic, and Catholic is an unbelievable program, a lot of success. But going back to school, those players at Catholic, how do they look at you guys? What responsibility you feel like you have playing at Tennessee, being right here from Knoxville?
For sure. I hope they look up to us greatly. We had some great teams come through Catholic.
Yeah.
We played to a standard, and I thought we were a really good team in Knoxville. We just won 2 state championships, and just
good.
I feel like people feared us in Knoxville. We would call all around Knoxville, people wouldn't play us. little bit of shade to some people in Knoxville, but they wouldn't play us. We'd have to go schedule games out of state. Had some really good competition, and I mean the years that we were there, we had really good runs. Great players came through there, and it was just, it was a lot of fun.
So Cooper gets the statue first?
Cooper gets the statue.
It's going to be Cooper.
Hey, all three of us, little trio statue.
The three Musketeers. What was your experience at Catholic like? You were in Nashville for a good bit of your life, most of your life. What was your experience at Catholic like, and how important was being in Knoxville with the university and playing at Catholic in terms of your decision to be at Tennessee? How important?
So for me, like you said, I came from Nashville like the end of my junior year, going into my senior year. But being a Catholic, it was priceless to me. I feel like I developed so much as a person, as a ball player. Yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed it, and I can't really complain about it much.
You guys came in with an advantage. Really prepared. Both your fathers' experience in the college game. Kay, your dad played here, was a captain here. Tyler, your dad, worked, still works as a staff member, was coaching in this state on the high school level, but was really instrumental in a couple different staffs here at Tennessee and recruiting and building relationships in the state. How do you feel like you guys have had the advantage having a father to be in the game, former player, and working in college athletics?
I can just say for me personally, having my father there has been completely instrumental in all my development. Him just being able to walk me through, not necessarily just on the field, but put me through the ropes of life as a college student. I mean, it's a big adjustment for most young men, and I feel like him being there just helped to go so much more smoother for me.
What about Dad for you?
Man.
Did y'all talk a lot of ball?
We did.
Was it all the time ball? Was it?
No, definitely not. Definitely not all the time ball. It was tidbits. I'd go play on a Friday night, and he'd critique me on the stuff he needed to critique me on, and then it was moved on from that. We didn't talk much more about football. But when I was growing up, he was my coach. He was really hard on me as a coach, and really just
some ugly car rides home.
Just man, yeah, definitely. But definitely grateful for him. He pushed me and my brother to. He saw the potential in us. I mean, he saw what we could be and what we could do, and he pushed us to be that. And definitely very thankful for him. But no, we didn't talk that much football, and still, he'll critique me on the things I need to be critiqued on, and then that's really it.
But big advantage for you when you rolled into college because of the way you had been developed from the time you were 9. Because look, when you're 9, 10 years old and you're the biggest guy, a lot of people just say push the guy down around. I'm sure at that age your dad was starting to teach some technique.
Definitely
it wasn't
technique,
just shove people.
For sure, it was definitely steps, hat placement, the game of football, and how to tackle. All that stuff, he was teaching that from the time I was 8 years old, and then it just progressed to more just different things that could help me in the game.
Let me go back over here to Tyler. I hear that growing up, you looked up to Derek Barnett. Derek Barnett was a big reason why you wearing number 9. Tell us a little bit about his game and how you try to pattern some of your game after his game, and how influence did he make on you and have on you?
Oh yeah, so really growing up, to be honest with you, Derek was always around. We go. My uncle would take us all go work out at the ballpark. I mean, yeah, Derek's like another big figure in my life. But yeah, looking up to him, he plays with great effort. To be honest, that's one of the biggest things I take from him. If you go back and watch, he's always around the ball, always trying to be disruptive. So yeah, that's the biggest thing I take from him. Yeah, I talk to him all the time, just keeping up with him, little tad bits he can give me all the time.
For sure. Kate, growing up, man, other than Pops, who were some offensive linemen that you kind of looked at and was like, man, I like his game. I want to kind of use some of his tools for my toolbox.
Probably the person that I watched the most, like in high school, and I watch almost every tackle in the league now. So but some guy that I really tried to model my game after was Taylor Lewan. He just he played with that nastiness, edge. He wasn't scared to get a personal foul.
Yeah.
And just all his teammates loved him. The whole city of Nashville loves him.
Yeah.
So just watching his game and how he plays it the right way, the way you want to. So
how do you balance that? Because I mean, you get some personal fouls in high school, and you were through the whistle, and then some. I was trying to be kind.
How many, Kay? Like more than 5?
Apparently, he set the Tennessee record for personal fouls.
Really? Good job, man. Winning something, baby. That's what I'm talking about.
That's funny. But no, I mean.
So my question, I'm trying to tiptoe this one because I don't want a personal foul here. All right. But
I got you back, man.
Thanks, man.
I think I do.
So how do you balance that? Because obviously there's an intensity level that you have to play with, and you want to play through the whistle. You want to let your opponent know on the other side of the ball you're there all day long.
For sure.
And so you want to set a tone. How do you balance, and how have you learned to balance that line where you go right to the edge but you're not over the line, where Tyler indicated you were a lot in high school? That was Tyler who indicated that you were a lot in high school.
Yeah, this guy.
I will not say whether or not that's true or not. I will not deny the truth in that. But how do you learn to balance that line? Okay.
I feel like the game's changed quite a bit since I was in high school. You know, there was a lot of stuff that you could get away with that you can't now. Like there's way more like unnecessary roughness, late hit calls and stuff. They took the peel back, block out, all that stuff. So I mean, I feel like the game is leaning more towards now of, you know, getting away from those nasty players and stuff. But just, you know, keeping your head, knowing that you don't want to hurt your team. Just like there's offensive plays are so critical, and you know, you might be dogging some dude over here on the side, but the quarterback might have just hit a 60-yard bomb for a touchdown, and you get a personal foul and get it called back. I mean, that's not doing anybody any good. You're hurting the team, hurting yourself. It just looks bad. So, you know, just keeping your head and just, you know, putting the team first.
So last night in the Ole Miss game, Louisville game, there's 4 targeting penalties, 4 ejections in the first half. How difficult is targeting to A, try to figure out, and B, to try to manage as a defender in particular?
I mean, yeah, it's really tough. You got to be way more calculated now because previously as a defense end, you just want to sack the quarterback, but now you need to look on how you're tackling them, where you're tackling them. Yeah, it definitely makes the game way more calculated.
I heard a guy on TV last night saying that you guys were good enough athletes that in a split second you could raise your head and avoid a head-to-head collision or avoid that collision. Is that even – obviously I haven't played the game and never did.
I disagree.
Is that realistic that you can be in a full sprint to somebody within that kind of closing distance that you can go, oh, wait, I'm going to get targeting here. I got to move my head a little bit. Is that even realistic?
I don't
think so.
Yeah, I don't think so at all.
In the game of football, like the correct way it's played with malicious intent. And, you know, when you throw all these rules in here and stuff, it takes away from that.
It does.
And I understand, like, protecting players and stuff, but at the same time, I mean, this is a physical man's game that's played with malicious intent. And so, you know, when you take that away,
it takes away from the game and how it's supposed to be played.
For sure.
How hard does it make it? I mean, is that something you consciously, not maybe during that play, but is it something you're thinking about? Like seeing what happened last night, was that a real reminder to you? Like, hey, man, they're on it really strict right now to start the year. We got to be really, really smart about all this stuff.
Yeah, 100%. Just going back to our game, one of the refs came up to me talking about we were very close to calling one, so it reminds me, and just it kind of in a way slows you down, to be honest. But
how? Well, I mean, I get it from like a linebacker, safety, DB standpoint, but like from a defensive line standpoint, and you know, unless you're like unblocked attacking the quarterback and you launch, like I just don't get it, man. It puts you guys at a huge disadvantage.
Yeah, it's tough rushing the quarterback because they're so particular about them, but it's definitely something that we got to work on, and if it's going to be in the game, we got to do it correctly.
Yeah, for sure.
So let's talk a little bit. We're going to break here in just a second, but before that, I'll tell you what. We'll do a break. Coming out of the break, I want to talk to you guys a little bit about managing a season off the field as much as managing it on the field, particularly with the schedule change and all you guys got going on. We're going to talk about that. We'll talk about Pitt and a lot more. That's coming up next here on Tennessee Prime with Jason Swain, the Swain Event. I'm Brent Hubbs of Volquest.com, coming to you live from our good friends at Gus's World Famous Fried Chicken on Sutherland Avenue. We're back with more right after this.
Locally owned, Gus's is located on Sutherland Avenue and has been voted the best fried chicken in every city they've ever gone to. Throw in some delicious and mouth-watering sides, and it's easy to see why Gus's is a must-have at your dinner table. It's not just famous, it's world-famous fried chicken at Gus's.
Ever wonder what the best source of Tennessee and college football talk is? Tune in to the Swain Event every morning from 7 to 10 a.m. You can listen on the Swain Event app or catch the live stream on Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, or Facebook Live. If you can't listen in real time, it's all good. Just click on the podcast icon in the app and listen at your convenience. Get all the information on the Vols all year long with the Swain Event. You will not find a better mix of Big Orange news and opinion anywhere else.
Volquest.com has been the gold standard for Tennessee football coverage for over 20 years. Led by an experienced staff with over 600 games covered amongst them.
Speed, and then some more speed.
Volquest takes you behind the scenes with features on coaches and players. For only $9.95 per month, find out why Volquest continues to set that standard.
Welcome back to Tennessee Prime here at Gus's World Famous Fried Chicken. I'm Brent Hubbs of Volquest.com. Jason Swain of the Swain Event. I'm joined by Tyler Barron and Cade Mays talking about last week's game. We'll get to Pitt and the Johnny Majors Classic in a few minutes. But, Gus, let's talk about a little bit of life for you guys outside of football. Small town, everybody knows who you are. Everybody's known who you are for a long time.
There's Cade Mays.
There's Cade Mays. Come on, great. Tyler Barron, come on the picture. So how is life as a football player? How is life as a student at Tennessee for you guys? What's it like?
I mean, it's pretty chill, calm. I don't do much. I play a lot of video games like we covered last week. You know, we spend so much time in football, studying film, practice, workouts, all that stuff. And with the schedule changed in the morning, I'm in bed every night, 9:30 at the latest, 10 o'clock at the latest, you know. So I spend all my time at home watching extra film, playing video games, hanging out.
Dang, Hub, that's earlier than you, man.
That's a lot earlier than me. But
Yeah,
he's up earlier than I am, I'm sure, as well. Do you like the morning? Do you like the morning routine?
I like it at noon. I don't like it much at 6:30, but at noon it's definitely good to get your work in. You know, get your hump of your day out of the way, and then you know you can focus on other stuff. And you're up early, getting your work in, eating breakfast, all that stuff. So it's good in the morning.
Are you fresh? You feel practice? You feel you're better at practice as a morning practice guy, or is it like you're still adjusting to it? Some mornings you're like, man, Coach Garner is yelling like crazy. I've not been out of bed long. Like, what are we doing here, right?
I definitely feel fresh. With that being said, I do every now and then get a little tired of Coach G. I'm just playing, Coach. No, but yeah, I love the morning practices. I feel like it keeps us fresh, keeps our mental healthy. I think it's a real good idea.
Does it give you? But it doesn't give you any more free time.
No, it's the same amount of free time. You know, I mean, when the practices were in the afternoon, you woke up, you went and got breakfast, you went to class all the way up until you had practice. You got out of practice at 6:30, 7 o'clock. So, you know, we come in, we practice early in the morning, go to class, and then we have another meeting on the back end of class in the afternoon. So, you know, after that, we just got out of that. So that's when we came here. So
I think sometimes, you know, fans don't really realize, like, the time that you put in on a daily basis. And so they think you just, you know, you practice and you just go play the games, but it's a whole lot more than that, especially in the off season. So, like, I want you, Tyler, I want you, Cade, to kind of walk us through, like, a typical day for you from the moment you wake up to the moment you lay down. Like, what's going on in between?
You mean to start?
I mean,
are we talking practice day or like a workout?
Are we talking
day?
like a regular day-to-day?
In season, a regular day. And if you want to, you know, give us an off season, typical day, please, man.
I'll walk you through my day to day.
Yeah, please.
You know, I woke up, got out of bed.
What time was that?
Got out of bed at 6:30.
6:30.
So 6:30, go over to the facility, get a little breakfast, get a little something to drink, go up to meetings.
What time meetings?
Meetings are at 7:25, and by the time you get breakfast and before the meeting, you have to put all your stuff on. So you come up to meetings at 7:25, fully dressed. get that meeting in from 7:25 to 8:30.
8:35.
8:35, and then you've got 15 minutes to get your shoulder pads on, get taped up real good, and then go out to practice. Practice is 2.5 hours, 2.5 hours. So you get out of there. We got out of there about 11:30 today. 11:30. After practice, go into the training room, get some treatment. Class was at 1, so
1:10,
get treatment, shower, all that good stuff, and then, go back to the house, grab the backpack, hit class from 1 o'clock till 4, and then go home, get a little something to eat, and then, back to meetings at 5:50.
5:50.
And then 5:50 to about 6:45.
And then what happens after 6:45 after those meetings? Because you got study hall. You guys didn't mention anything about
the only day off for me on study hall.
So some guys got study hall. I know I was a guy that had to be in study hall a lot more than everybody else. But what about the in-season lifting?
Yeah.
So that's a thing too. I'm not sure if that started.
Yeah, we lifted yesterday.
We lift Monday and Wednesday. Today was our day off.
So what time? When's lift?
So lift, it really depends. So for defense, we'll get off the field right at, like you said, like 11:30, and lift starts at 11:40.
Okay. So on your lift day, you lift right after practice?
Theirs is at 11:40, and they'll lift for like an hour.
Yeah, they lift directly after us.
And then we'll lift right after them, then go to class, do all the stuff.
And then at some point you're supposed to watch some film,
Yep.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. On your own.
That falls probably
That
right
falls
after we
after the
leave from here. I'll probably be watching film.
I mean, I was going to ask you guys about dating and the dating scene, but I'm not going to mess with that after the list of that hours. You're just cruising to bed about 8 o'clock and starting over the next day, right?
9:30.
9:30.
Pretty much.
Really for
Yeah,
you? I mean, last year, when practices were in the afternoon, did you stay up later? I mean, was that like a
definitely,
midnight
for sure.
deal,
100%.
Yeah.
type thing?
Definitely.
But you
Because
can't even tempt that now, right?
You got to be much more locked in, going to meetings, watching their film, having your coach break down that film session in the morning before practice. You got to be much more locked in than, you going and sitting in a, PE class or something like that,
Yeah.
Do you guys eat better in this schedule?
Yes.
Yeah.
I never ate breakfast.
Yeah, I wasn't a breakfast guy until now, but it's almost you have to before practice. You can't go out there with any done on your stomach.
So what? I mean, we eating a Pop-Tart? Or we?
No, I usually go in. I really can't eat before like a early morning practice. I'm not a big morning eater until it's about like 10:30. So I go in, give me a little bit of fruit, maybe a piece of toast or something, just something to maybe some gummy snacks. I don't know, just something little, but not a big breakfast guy early in the morning.
But when practice was in the afternoon, you wouldn't eat breakfast at all. Your first meal would be lunchtime, right? So you think it helps you from a
definitely
from
helps
a nutrition? You guys are in better shape that way.
100%. I'm a little bit different than Kate. This morning I had some nice biscuits and gravy.
Oh yeah.
Some sausage, some eggs.
So you're a breakfast guy.
Yeah, I mean, I love breakfast food, but I never really was able to eat it until they changed the schedule.
So is that the biscuits and gravy? That's why you're a little heavier this year? Because what you got?
Yeah, I mean,
10, 12 pounds heavier?
Yeah, I'm about 10 pounds heavier. I would tone it a little bit to the biscuits and gravy.
You need it, man. Need it, man. Need to bring that weight. Did you guys have a chance? I'm pretty sure you did, but playing on Thursday, you had games Friday, you had games Saturday. Normally you would play Saturday, and so you wouldn't have a chance to kind of chill out, watch all the games. Did you have a certain opinion about your play as a team on Thursday that changed possibly after watching everybody else play? Did you guys experience that?
Yeah, for the first game, it's usually very sloppy. A lot of balls on the ground, maybe fumbles, interceptions, penalties pre-snap or holdings or stuff like that. I thought we played pretty, clean as a group, and we had 2 turnovers, but I would say we played decently clean for a first week. Then playing a different defense, we adjusted well on the fly, and that's something that doesn't usually come early in the season. You get to game 6, 7, and then you're like, okay, well, here we go, adjustments. Adjust on the fly, but I thought we played pretty well. Definitely things we need to clean up. So,
without mentioning any names, any teams, because I don't want to create any bulletin board material for later on in the season. But did you watch some games and teams that you thought that would play maybe better than what they did, and go, oh man, they were struggling, man. They look pretty rough for their first game, and you kind of felt better about some of the mistakes that you probably made week 1. Did you guys?
I mean, definitely just watching ball. I mean, I like to be pretty critical on our defense, but seeing other teams make mistakes, I mean, you're only human. You only can do so much so right. But, it definitely was encouraging, but we still have a long way to go, to be honest.
So you guys play Thursday night. Saturday, you watch ball all day?
All day.
Not me. I don't watch. we're around football so much.
Did you go to the woods?
You went duck hunting, didn't you?
I went and put out my deer trail cameras, you know, trying to find some deer for when rifle season opens up.
I thought
But
you were supposed to call me, man.
huh?
I thought we were supposed to go deer hunting, man.
Duck season
hunting.
ain't open yet. Duck season opens in.
So what's open right now?
Thanksgiving, dove season.
Dove?
Yeah, and I was gonna go, but I couldn't. I was sore from the game, couldn't really find somewhere to go. So, yeah, me too.
I call your boy.
Anybody got a dove shoot going on next Sunday? Hit your boy up.
So you guys had a little downtime this weekend.
Yeah, me too.
You didn't have to go to the complex?
We did have to go to the complex. We had a little lift Saturday morning. Some treatment, mandatory guys had to check in for treatment.
And then you're back at it.
And then we had meetings on Saturday as well to watch the game. We went over the film, had a little workout, and then
Then you're back at it on Sunday, or was Sunday an off day?
Sunday was an off day as
Sunday
well.
was an off day. So you just watched ball.
Yeah, I'm pretty much all Saturday I was watching ball.
So do you guys watch the NFL like on a Sunday off day? You don't watch?
I don't think I've watched the Super Bowl, but I don't think I've ever sat down and watched a whole NFL game first snap to last snap. I don't think I've ever done it other than the Super Bowl. And even then, you know, it'll be the second quarter, and I'll mosey off, do something for a little while, come back in the fourth.
It just bores you?
No, it doesn't bore me. It's just, I don't know.
You're not getting to play.
It's kind of hard when you're around it as much as we are, to be honest.
Yep.
Really?
We're around or talking ball 12 hours out of the day.
So you get a little off day, and I have a bunch of different hobbies, so, you know, being able to do those hobbies on an off day instead of, watching football and stuff. I don't know. It's
important, man.
Yeah,
it's important to escape.
Get away from it a little bit.
So
sure.
So what do you do? What's your getaways? I mean, I don't think you're hanging out. I mean, maybe you're hanging out in duck blinds with this guy, or
I've never been hunting before, but yeah, like you said, playing video games is a big thing for me. Watching a lot of movies, just trying to relax and just get my mind free, just so that when we do go back to ball, I can put everything into it.
Is it hard to decompress? Is it hard to kind of put it behind you? Or are you so tired that you're like, I just need a day?
I mean, not necessarily that you just need a day, but it is good to be able to go home and be like, all right, this is kind of it's Tyler time or Cade time.
Yeah, we have the day, so you know, what am I going to do with this day?
So take full advantage.
For sure.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Guys, give me your individual experience on the Vol Walk, because I remember hitting the Vol Walk, and there's always a fan, it may be a kid that comes up to you, give you a pound, high five, and there's always like a moment that I remember from Vol Walk, like, man, that fan was crazy, or man, that fan had on all orange everything. Yeah. Like, do you remember anything from the Vol Walk, or was it like all a blur? And if you do remember anything, what was that moment from the Vol Walk week 1 that you can share that kind of stood out to you guys?
For me, it was. I can't even remember just one instance, but there were so many screaming people screaming your name. It was awesome. It was just knowing that you're some little kid's world. It makes me play that much harder, I feel. Just knowing that somebody looks up to you, it makes you want to go that much harder. For sure.
Pick out faces, or is this one of those kind of tunnel vision to the
I'm
bottom
tunnel
of the hill?
vision, but I can hear things. Like my funny moment was, I just heard some fan just screaming Joe as loud as he could, like 6 times. Joe! And like I never looked, because I was just tunnel vision. It was kind of hot out there. I had a little suit on, so I was kind of sweating.
a little bit.
Yeah, it's hard not to like hear, because like you hear fans going, "Come on, kick that blankety blank blank, let's go!" And like you want to turn and kind of give them eye contact and give them that nod, but you want to stay focused. So every week is different, man. Every week is different. That's why I asked you guys, because this is one of the coolest things ever.
Absolutely,
100%.
So, meet your parents at the bottom of the hill. You got one of those moments, or is it like, I hit the bottom of the hill, get me to the locker room. A, I want out of this suit as fast as I can get out of it.
Amen.
And B, it's time to get taped up and go.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Exactly.
So it's not photo time, hug time, kiss time, and all that stuff.
It's strictly business at that point.
Yeah.
I guess they don't have girlfriends. I'm not going to ask that question either, because we're not having that moment at the bottom of the Vol Walk either, right?
How do you guys manage, like, first game of the season? I know it's Bowling Green. It's not like you playing. Like, if you was playing Pittsburgh first, maybe it'd be a little bit different, but, like, still a game, so you're still hype. How do you manage not getting too hype to where you're a little fatigued? Because I know when you play against Florida, when you play against Alabama, when you play some of those games, like, the pregame is just different than when you play some opponent that you just quite frankly have more talent than. How do you guys manage keeping your emotions in check so that way you won't be tired the first quarter or the first possession?
For me, it's really just the music I listen to. A lot of guys like to get hyped up. Listen, I'm more of like a mellow guy. I got the same face on right now that I have on right before the game.
What are you listening to?
Just a bunch of just slow music, just soothing music.
Like Usher or something?
Throw some examples out there.
got,
I mean,
like,
No, I listen to some
that could be like the dentist office, with some smooth jazz, or
not quite.
Christina Aguilera or something?
No, I just got some very smooth, probably some Drake on, just vibing, just chilling.
Okay. What you listening to? What you listening to, Kay? What you over there listening to, man?
Man, I like the hype stuff. I like some, put the earbuds in, turn it up all the way, and just, I don't know, anything.
You ready to smash some heads, right?
Yeah.
I like Kay, man. I like Kay. Yeah,
so is that you? Were
Yeah.
you the hype guy?
yeah, that was me, man. Meacham was the guy that would listen to like R&B.
Yeah.
Like, dude, we gotta play a football game, man.
Yeah,
You
I
don't
want to
be
get in
listening to
I want to get in like a bad place, like a
Yeah.
Like,
You over here,
I want it to be dark.
yeah, Meacham over here listening to Boys and Men. I'm like,
That's
yo,
how
we
it.
about to play the Florida. Nobody wants to listen to Boys and Men.
Nobody wants to go to the end of the road today.
Yeah,
Come on,
man.
help me
I
out.
think it's a little weird, just having so much new schematically on the defensive line. I feel like I got to kind of be in a calm place just in case I got to get people lined up and stuff like that. It's good for me to just be able to be focused.
Have you always been that guy like that, or was there a point in time in your career where you're like, I got to have the rowdy stuff to get me going?
I mean, yeah, up until I would say probably my senior year in high school, I was always a rowdy guy. But then senior year, I just kind of like to calm down and just look at the game from a different point of view.
When you get in the locker room, you guys disappear? Or you go off to yourself? You just get in your locker and kind of?
Yeah.
Are you a
Yeah.
guy who's running around smacking somebody upside the head and shoulder pad?
No, I'm very.
So
very
I don't need
myself.
to look for Coach Eckler pictures of you guys with
No,
busted heads or
definitely
anything
not.
like that?
That's the worst, man.
Never see that. No.
That's the worst. When a teammate slaps you on the helmet making a good play, I used to hate that.
Yeah, I don't like that either.
Oh, dude, I hate
really,
that.
I really hate like when you're in a workout or something and somebody smacks you like on the fat of the back.
Yeah, yeah.
That has me ready to fight. Like you
Yeah,
can't make me
I
more
hate
ready to
that.
fight than that.
I hate that. Get a concussion from your own player during
can
celebration.
I can only imagine.
Golly.
So both of you are just kind of in your own space, in
Yeah,
your
my
own
own
locker.
space.
In my
You
own
know,
locker,
just-
just
Do
listen.
you stay in your locker, or you go somewhere else? I mean, I know some guys go hang out in the shower. Some people get out in the tunnel. I mean, you go get away from people
I sit in my locker, grab a little band, stretch out a little bit,
and dare somebody to mess with you
just get in my zone.
in your zone. Gotcha.
Eckler is a hype guy, right?
Yeah,
Out of the coaching staff?
His chili is quite hot.
Yeah.
It's kind of challenging. So like I said, I'm kind of calm before the game, but then we go to the defensive meet and Coach Eckler's screaming and headbutting people. He's full of energy, and I love having him in the room. To be honest,
You got to have a hype man on the coaching
you
staff.
do. You got to have somebody to keep your mind. We're about to play a game.
Sure,
now.
because some people get off of that. Like some players need that hype guy
Yeah,
to they
100%.
feed off that.
Yep, for sure.
All right, let's take a final break here, and when we come back, we're going to talk about the Johnny Majors Classic. We'll talk about the Pitt Panthers and what's up for this football team the rest of this week and moving forward. That's coming up next as you listen to Tennessee Prime, coming to you live from Gus's world-famous fried chicken with Jason Swain and Cade Mays, Tyler Barron. I'm Brent Hubbs of Volquest.com. We're back in just a minute.
Bite into that crispy crust with just the right amount of spicy, and you're going to taste the tender, juicy, succulent chicken that is Gus's world-famous fried chicken. A timeless Southern tradition that started over 60 years ago in Mason, Tennessee with a secret family recipe. Gus's has stood the test of time and spread throughout the world. It's not just famous, it's world-famous fried chicken at Gus's. Volquest.com has been the gold standard for Tennessee football coverage for over 20 years, led by an experienced staff with over 600 games covered amongst them.
Speed, and then some more speed.
Volquest takes you behind the scenes with features on coaches and players. For only $9.95 per month, find out why Volquest continues to set that standard.
Ever wonder what the best source of Tennessee and college football talk is? Tune in to the Swain Event every morning from 7 to 10 a.m. You can listen on the Swain Event app or catch the live stream on Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, or Facebook Live. If you can't listen in real time, it's all good. Just click on the podcast icon in the app and listen at your convenience. Get all the information on the Vols all year long with the Swain Event. You will not find a better mix of big
So I wanted to get down about 315, play, see how it went. So that's what I've been doing.
So you like it so far?
Yeah, I like it so far. It's been good.
All right, Kate. 2 scenarios. Which one would you prefer? Offensive line, let's say your tackle, defensive end is coming in, you stonewall him, he gets nowhere close to the quarterback, quarterback throws a touchdown pass.
Yeah.
That's the first one.
Okay.
Second one is it's a run,
Okay.
and you just pancake the guy in front of you,
I know the answer.
and the running back just took it to distance. Which
Off my block.
right off your block.
Yeah, run play.
Run play for
Yeah,
touchdown
For sure.
with the pancake.
For sure.
Okay. Okay.
Statement.
I could have told you the answer to that.
For sure, man. I mean, he's a run guy. He loves to just drive guys to the ground and lay there on them.
That he does.
Set the tone. Oh, you must have experience with that, huh?
I don't personally, but I've seen it firsthand many a time.
Oh, you've seen it firsthand.
Many a time.
So you never experienced it. You just seen it.
I haven't, but
Okay.
I've lived it through other people's lives.
We didn't play high school together, did we? You came right after I
I
left.
came right after you left.
Yeah.
All right, I got one for you, Tyler. Okay. You go unblocked, or you make a move on the tackle. You get to the quarterback, sack, fumble,
That's it.
and you pick it up and you score. That's the first scenario. Or
How do you better that scenario?
Dave Barnett did it. He can do it too.
I know, but how do you better that?
No, I got one. Interception. Maybe on a screen pass, you tip it up. Interception, and then you take it to the house. Which one? Tyler? Which one, man?
That's easy.
Which one?
I'm gonna have to go with the pick. I ain't gonna lie. I gotta go with the.
Good answer.
I mean, sacks will be there, but the interception, that's a once in a season.
Good answer. I actually had a pick 6 once. I'm not gonna lie.
Show the hands. Oh, you had a pick six?
Yeah.
And you didn't have a pick six?
I've never had a pick 6 through my
I
career.
had a pick. I was 8 years old.
You need to get
Remember
one of
that year?
them.
Whoa.
Hey, listen.
What position were you playing when you had this?
3 technique. So you know,
As an 8-year-old.
You remember in Pee Wee they put
You
the
were a
X's
foot and a
on the
half
helmet.
taller.
Yeah. Because
Yeah.
you know
Got to blow
the
it
weight.
down. You can't score.
Well, I mean, I made the pick, outran everybody, and then I get to the end zone, and they're
doesn't
like, "Toot, bring it back." I'm like, "What?"
Yeah, you can't run it.
Yeah, but I mean, hey, pick 6 in my book, they didn't count it.
Isn't that a
was
crazy
But
rule?
did it really count though?
No, it didn't count.
it did count in my book. It counted.
Well, that's
the
all
only
that
one
matters. They
counts.
count in your book.
Yeah.
Then. Gotcha.
That-
I
that
outran
extra.
them.
It count.
Caught the ball,
It
took
happened.
off. It did happen.
It happened.
He
It happened.
outran
know,
him because
just-
nobody was even thinking about
Just a
trying
couple,
to tackle him.
just a couple cheeseburgers left. You know, I mean, I wouldn't have had that X. I mean, they can't take that away from me.
No,
Did you
it happened.
never tried to make weight as an 8-year-old, did you?
Oh,
I mean,
no.
you were an X
No,
for
I
life, right?
I was a guard and a 3 technique.
Yeah,
you
you're
know.
an X
I don't
for
think
life.
I don't think I even had to step on the scale. They were just like, yeah, X.
Go ahead.
He's
Don't
bigger
even-
than everybody.
Don't even take the
X.
sticker off. It's never a debate. You don't have to weigh in. That's so funny. All right, guys, we get ready to wrap up here in a few minutes. I want to ask you about this game and the Johnny Majors Classic. First of all, it's pretty cool that we're playing the Johnny
It is.
Majors Classic.
Absolutely.
Paying homage.
I think it's awesome that we're doing that. Those of us who grew up watching Coach Majors roam the sidelines, and I met him at a spring game when I was a little kid. Then I got a chance to talk to him as a media guy and listen to some of his stories later on in life. Really cool that they're doing this. But for you guys, this is a pretty lofty challenge. I mean, when you watch him on tape, they look like a pretty good football team.
Absolutely.
What stands out? Let's start with their offense first. Tyler, what stands out to you about their offense?
I mean, first you got to start with the trigger man, Pickett. He does a great job. I mean, he manages their offense in a great way. He gives them juice. They go as he goes. As he goes, yeah.
What does he do that when you watch it on tape you go, all right, that's something he does well. You got to really handle that thing about his game.
So obviously he's a great passer, but he's a really willing runner. That's the biggest thing. We got to keep edges, keep him in the pocket, make it tough for him all day.
All right, let's talk about them defensively. Coach Narduzzi's had a reputation for a long time, going all the way back to Wisconsin for what he did with his defenses now as a head coach. When you look at them on tape, what stands out about their defense?
They play really hard. They've got a really good, very fundamental front seven. Their defensive line, they do a phenomenal job of playing with their hands and pad level. They do a really good job coming off the ball in the run game, holding their gaps. Stacking blocks in the pass game. All 4 of them down there using their hands well, and also they get us into 3rd and long. They're gonna have some really exotic 3rd down packages. So just staying at a third and long, winning on 1st down is going to be huge for us. Staying in front of the chains and not false starts, anything like that is going to move us behind the chains because we get the 3rd and long. Their exotic package is really good.
So, like, when you play on the SEC team, you don't root for really any other SEC team. Like when I was watching, Louisville and Ole Miss last night, I was over here rooting for Louisville. They let me down. When Clemson was playing Georgia, I was over here like, come on, Clemson, let's get it. As a player, there's a little bit of conference pride, just a little bit. And especially when you're playing a team from outside the conference, like a Pittsburgh, who plays in a big conference, it's not the SEC. Do you guys feel like, this game has a little bit more to it because, you're representing for the SEC, which is the best conference in the land, so that way you can kind of maintain those bragging rights as a league?
For sure. This game's definitely a tone setter for our season. Mm-hmm. We got to come out here and play hard and set the tone for what we want our season to be. And, just me personally, when I watch, like, other SEC teams, other people play, I always root for my homeboys. So, like, anybody out there that, they might play for, a Pac-12 team, rooting for them, I want them to do well. SEC teams, anybody I know on the team, I want them to do well, go out there and ball. But just as far as this game, it's going to be a big tone setter for how our season's going to go. People
don't realize how many guys y'all are it's a fraternity, even at the college level. It's not just everybody talks about in the NFL as a fraternity, but as a college guy, you guys know so many guys that are playing at so many other places. Mm-hmm. It's really different than what fans think. If fans kind of think you're in your little cocoon and everybody else is bad. You know what I mean?
You love your team and hate everybody else. Yeah.
But you guys really know a bunch of people around the country, right?
Not at all. I mean, watching football this past weekend. You see every team. At least a couple of players. To be honest, somebody you could text and tell them good luck. I hope you have a good game.
That's just from camp life?
Camps, from me transferring and other people transferring from my previous school. And then, we all end up in different places and stuff. And then just people you meet from recruiting, build those relationships with. Just watching all those guys, you turn the TV on and, they're playing. You're like, heck yeah. Like I saw my buddy from Florida State, Jermaine Johnson, he won Defensive Player of the Week. He was balling out there last night, and that's my dude. So I was definitely happy for him.
All right, as we wrap it up here and get ready to go out the door, last question for both of you. You're better offensively this week. Why?
Good question.
Better offensively this week. Why?
Where's the improvement?
We got some good looks in the game. Like I said, we played 90 plays, so just those reps on reps, just seeing different looks, playing ourselves into shape, and just practicing hard, preparing well. So.
Well, I won't say you're out of shape because y'all go hard in practice, but you hadn't scrimmaged for 2 weeks, a little over 2 weeks. Is there something about getting into game shape and getting that first one because you've had 2 weeks where you haven't played 11 on 11, put the ball down and go play extended drives?
Yeah, definitely. You hit like a mid-season stride. Like your first couple games, you'll still be playing yourself into that shape, and then you hit game 5, 6, 7, and you get in the game, and you don't really get that tired. You never have to find that second win because it's just always there.
Defense is better this week. Why?
Defense is better this week. I think we just clean up a lot of mental errors and times when we beat ourselves. I think we correct a lot of those and we go out and put our best foot forward.
Guys, good luck to you this week. Thanks for coming out. We got Tennessee Prime every Tuesday night. Have a great game. Stay healthy. Enjoy yourselves. I know every Tennessee fan's looking forward to this one Saturday. You like noon? You like a noon start? Are you a day guy or a night guy?
We talked about this last time.
Yep.
Love a noon game.
You like the noon game?
Is that what time the game is?
Yes.
Yeah, it's noon.
Game?
Yeah.
It's a noon game.
Let's go. Yeah, man.
Love a late game.
Yeah, good luck, man.
You're a late game
I'm
guy?
a late game
Yeah,
guy.
good luck, man.
Yeah, I understand. I like it either early or I like it late. I don't like those mid-afternoon
Yeah,
games.
3 o'clock games, we're not a fan.
Yeah, I don't.
Really?
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of those.
Not a fan.
Unless I get it if you're 3:30 CBS and you're the game of the week. I get all of that.
of course.
But let's play at 8 o'clock at night or at 11:30 in the morning. Let's go.
Exactly.
Let's go. Ball out, guys. Ball out.
Good luck to you.
y'all.
Appreciate it. That's going to do it for tonight's edition of Tennessee Prime. We want to thank our good friends at Gus's World Famous Fried Chicken here on Sutherland for having us out again this week. We'll be here every Tuesday night. Be sure and check them out this weekend if you're coming in for the game. They're going to take care of you with the best chicken and the best sides that you could find right here at Gus's World Famous Fried Chicken on Sutherland. I promise you won't be disappointed. Okra, greens, chicken. It's time to eat, Swain. Let's go.
Let's get it. Let's get it, Hubs.
We'll talk to you next week, guys. Thanks for joining us.